Good morning, my name is Micah, and today we're going to learn about how to make a cup of coffee using the Hario V60 brew method. Maybe, like me, you once had a good cup of coffee at a coffee shop, but you didn't know how they made it so stinking good. And you went to go and figure out how to do it yourself, and you couldn't find anything. It was too complicated, whatever. Today, I'm going to fix that problem for you, and we're going to teach you how to make a cup of coffee easy on a budget. So, we're going to have to cover 4 categories to make sure that we do it. We're going to have to teach you about the tools that you'll need. We're going to have to teach you about the preparation that will go into making that cup of coffee. We're going to teach you about the actual brewing method itself. And we're going to teach you about how to taste that coffee the right way. So, tools. What tools will you need? Well, most obvious one, you'll need some coffee. This is Sunlighter from Push and Pour in Garden City, Idaho. You'll need a scale. This is Target scale. It measures in grams. That's all you need. You'll need a brewer. This is the Hario V60-02 plastic dripper. This is great. Any of the other Hario V60 models will work. This is my preferred one. You'll need a filter. This is a Hario V60-02 paper filter. Use a filter that's compatible with your brewer. And you'll need a carafe. This is vintage Pyrex. It's what grandma has at her house. And you'll need a kettle. This is electric kettle from the store. It isn't fancy. It doesn't have a gooseneck. If you've got a gooseneck kettle, use it, not necessary. On to how to brew. What do you need to do to prepare to make your cup of coffee? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your filter, you're going to put it in your brewer. Okay, you're going to take that brewer and you're going to rinse it out with hot water. This does 2 things. This eliminates the paper taste from your filter and it preheats your brewer. This is important because it makes sure that you maintain a consistent brewing temperature while you're brewing your coffee. Next, you're going to put your carafe and your brewer on your scale. You're going to zero your scale. And then you're going to pour 19 grams of coffee into your brewer. Then you're going to make a little hole in the middle of your thing. And now you're ready to begin. So, at this point, you're going to take your coffee, take your boiling hot water from your kettle, and you're going to do the first step. This step is called the bloom. For the bloom, you want to pour in about 50 to 60 grams, and then you want to give it a little bit of a swirl. Doing 50 to 60 grams because that's about 20% of your total desired volume. Today, the volume that we're hoping for is a total volume of about 300 mils. So we want to pour in, again, that 50 to 60 mils. Then you're going to let that sit for about 30 seconds. Now that it's been about 30 seconds, you're going to start pulsing. So to pulse for our desired brew weight, you're going to pour about 60 grams every 20 seconds until you reach that desired weight of 300 grams or 300 milliliters. Your pulsing is to ensure that you have an even extraction. To get an even extraction, you're making sure that each part of the coffee spends a consistent amount of time with the beans. This has a lot to do with what's called extraction theory, which a chemist could explain to you. But I'm not a chemist, I just know how to tell you to make your coffee not suck. Once you've poured in that last bit, and you've got to about 300 grams, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your brewer, you're gonna pick it up, you're just gonna swirl it a little bit, just gently. This allows some of those coffee particles to mix with the water, allows it to settle well. You want a nice flat bed once it drains out all the way. And then should be about another minute and a half. So you're sitting right at about 3 to 3.5 minutes total before that drains down. Now that your coffee is done, see, fully extracted, you just need to pour yourself a cup and taste it. Nice good cup of coffee. When you're tasting it, you want to make sure you slurp it to oxidize the coffee a little bit. This helps get that full palette of all of the flavors that you want to get out of your coffee. If your coffee is a little bit on the sour side, that means that you probably under-extracted your coffee and you want to increase your brew time. To increase your brew time, the easiest way to do this is to make your grind size finer. As opposed to if your coffee's a bit bitter, it's a bit kind of vegetable-y, maybe it's a bit sort of just on that, kind of tastes like not good in the back of your mouth especially, it means that you probably over-extracted your brew. This means you want to coarsen your grind size. If that doesn't work for you, you can try experimenting with maybe different types of water, with different temperatures for your brew. Those all work, but hopefully, once you figured all of those things out, you should have a nice, good cup of coffee. Cheers.